Hey y'all, long time, well, medium long time no see. I haven't posted in a long while, but there's a video I've been wanting to talk about for a while. So pretty much one of my subs commented on like one of my travel vlogs, and she asked me like, I think it could be broken into two questions. Oh, also the preface. Sorry if it's loud. I'm at the most randomest garden in the most randomest location, but I really want to shoot here. And funnily enough, somebody's like doing a little shoot here as well, so it's so funny to me. But if it's loud, bear with me. But pretty much, I don't know, maybe a guy, girl, I'm not sure, but I think their name's Audrey. I'll post her like pin or at up there. She commented on one of my vlogs and she was like, hey, like, could you kind of explain like your journey to solo travel as well as like how you go about planning your solo travels? And I was like, okay, cool. I like, it was in like one question, but I figured I'd break it up into two. So this video I'll talk about kind of my journey into solo travel, and then another video I'll talk about how I go about planning my solo trips, because I feel like it's a lot of information and I was like, that's not good to cover into one video, but without further ado, I feel like I'll talk about my journey into solo travel. I'll talk about some pros and cons, and then I'll talk about kind of like what I'm looking forward to with travel next. I have a notepad so I can remember the stuff to like talk about, but let's get into it. Also, let me know how you like this like video style. I've been wanting to like do videos like this a lot, but I guess I never did, and I'm finally starting them. These kind of like sit down chat videos, so let me know. Ooh, loud car. So how I got into solo travel, pretty much like it was in my personality to want to have solo trips and to do something like this. I've always had a travel bug because I've always been a curious person by nature. I feel like I've always wanted to learn more about people, learn more about culture, go to places I've never been to, and just see how other people live. And I've always had the hankering ever since I was young. I was like, I knew I wanted to travel more. I knew I wanted to travel more. I need to get to it. Eventually, like around the time that I graduated, I initially actually wanted to take the trip that I just took, where I went to like Korea, Beijing, all these places. I wanted to take that as my graduation trip, but a little thing called Miss Rona touched down, and my last year of like uni was shut down pretty much at home, and we really couldn't go anywhere because of travel restrictions, so I couldn't go. But eventually I was gonna go to Chiapas, Mexico, like a little while after I graduated. My parents was like, oh my gosh, they were so worried, and I was like, the one time that I'll like consider their opinions, so I canceled the whole trip. Like I literally booked that whole trip, canceled it, then go, and instead I ended up going to Sedona, Arizona, and that was my first ever solo trip. It's actually on my page too. But I felt like it was just so fun. I just loved the experience. I just love that joy of just being out and about in my own like element, just thinking about myself and what I want to do. And it just felt so great. And I just knew that I would want to do it again. So that was my first tiptoe into solo travel. And like for me, it was just amazing because, as you know, I'm a city girl and I live in like Chicago on top of that. And that's in Illinois. So Illinois is covered by nothing but plains. So going to Arizona and seeing those terrains in Sedona and just seeing all those geographical things I've never seen in Chicago, it was just like really good to me. And that was my first start. And then my first international trip was my trip to Japan, which you guys also have seen on my channel. And that really just like set it off for me in my mind, like, oh my gosh, I want to continue doing this. This is something that I want to incorporate into my life, and I just needed more of it. And I feel like what really helped me to jump into things is I always knew I would do it. I'm a by fire by force type of person, so I feel like if I want to do something, I'm gonna try to do it no matter what. But of course I still have my like worries and reservations, and like what really set me all the way through and like helped me get through those is just seeing other people that look like me do it as well. So like seeing other women, seeing other Black women solo travel really helped me. I don't think like, well, I think people do know, but like sometimes you don't know something till you see it and it just clicks for you and you understand like, oh wow, I could do this. And I feel like being like a person of color, being a Black person, I feel like Black people can be hated like a lot of places. So like there's always that reservation and worry as well. So like seeing people like Sunday Love, I love her channel, see people like Lydia Dinga, love her channel, seeing those people do what I want to do was really like a great affirmation to me to really just I'm by these leaps, to really just get started and to just go for it and see that it can be done. And I really hope that like my channel can do that as well for somebody else, like to just see like, hey, Nick is doing this, bitch, I can do this too, let me do this too. So pretty much that's how I got my international push, or just push to keep going and do the things I want to do. And I really love seeing that, so that helped me a lot. So that's how I started my travels. And yeah, and we just went running from there. And then eventually I did the train. Whoopsies. Let's wait. Fa la la la. CTA. CTA. Not another train coming as soon as the other train left. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one's leaving. This was leaving. Anywho, so pretty much that's how I got into solo travel. Now I'll go into some pros and cons. I'm gonna start with cons first. To me, I feel like there aren't a lot of cons to solo travel. One main con I will say though is that you spend more money solo traveling, because I feel like if you travel with some other people, you can like split costs and accommodations and things like that. You can get like a bit of a nicer room because you can split the cost between two people. Even I feel like with my budget range, I was still able to find some pretty nice stuff, but I feel like not all areas and locations is as easy to do that. Like some places are just like, stay is premium. Like it's a premium cost to like where you're gonna stay. Hong Kong. If you saw my Hong Kong vlogs, that's an example. So like being able to travel with somebody else, I feel like would kind of like offset some of those costs. So that's like one con I might say. Another con I would say is, and I feel like this goes hand in hand with what I just said, but you can't try as many foods. And for me, I love food. I actually have a food channel as well, and I just love trying new foods, but I couldn't eat as much as I wanted to eat because I didn't want to waste food and I didn't know how to finish it. But I feel like if I travel with somebody else, we could just buy a bunch of stuff and eat all that food, and I can try more things. Like if I was to travel with my brothers, I would try so many foods because I know I have 2 human vacuum cleaners to be able to suck up the rest of the food that I can't finish. So I feel like that's a big con for me, because I really want to eat way more. So that's one thing. So I guess like those are some of them. And I think my final con I would say is safety. And I think like safety is with a grain of salt, but like I just feel like you're safer with greater numbers. You know, like it can vary, but I feel like just being in a new place that you don't know anything about, having somebody else to advocate for you, and somebody like that can be at your room and like be in your location to know like, hey, I haven't seen Nick, what's going on with her, let me look for her. I feel like something like that would be like really helpful to have. So that's one con. But I feel like to like mitigate that, I'll talk about it later in the next section when I talk about like what I have planned for the future. I'll say it now. I'd like to mitigate that, I guess, making good. No, I'll wait. I'll save it. Now let's get into pros. I feel like I wrote it in order, and I think I'm gonna go out of order. I feel like you can explore freely and openly as you please, and that's such a great thing. I'm looking kind of reserved. Like I stay to myself a lot, not just travel wise, but just like even at home, I'm to myself a lot these days. And I feel like the last times I like really hung out with a group when I was like graduating high school, stuff like that, I was just so irritated because there was always some shit. I would just get irritated. Like one person may not have wanted to do something or something like that, and I'm like, damn, if I'm going on a trip, like, you know, I want to do everything the fuck I want to do. I want to go everywhere. I don't want to like accommodate. And like if I want to leave at noon and go out, I can. If I want to leave early in the morning and go out, I can. I don't really have to like think about other people. I can just travel as freely. I don't have to like suit my taste and like compromise things with other people. I can do what I want. And I feel like that's the important thing. I'm spending all this money to go travel. I want to be able to travel freely and do that. And I think like that's a big thing that you can get from solo traveling. I feel like the next I would say is like the next I'll go into, and I think it goes hand in hand as well, is that like it helps you understand yourself more. Like seeing those new things, I think I mentioned it before, with like seeing other channels and other people solo travel open something in my mind. Seeing new things that you would have never known and seen back home because you're in a whole different culture can open your mind to other ways that you can live. I feel like I touched on it a little bit when I was in like Jeju Island. Just frolicking around an island just like made me see like, or not even just Jeju, but like Busan and being by the sea, just made me really understand how much I love being by water, how much I love being in that coastal environment. And it let me see that like, damn, that's really a way that I can live. If I wanted to, I can do something like that. I can live like this. Like it helps you understand yourself and understand what you like, what you can aspire for, what you can do. And I really appreciate that about solo travel. Another loud ass car. I hate me a loud ass car. Sorry for cussing, y'all. Sorry for cussing. I think what's else? I think what's I touch on? I think it's Would You Please. And I think, like I mentioned before, I think I kind of like muddled a few together, but like one of my points was gonna be like experiencing new things. And I think this like any travel, but like just experiencing those new things, as I said, it just opens up your mind, and it just it does something for you. Like it scratches the itch. Like if I was like double jointed, I would do like a little doggy itch my thing, but it really scratches this itch for you. It's just I love it. I love trying new things. I love learning new things, trying new things. So it does it for me in my core. And I think my last one I would say is it builds your confidence. Like I feel like if motherfuckers knew they couldn't, or if motherfuckers thought they could tell me some shit before, motherfuckers cannot tell me shit now. Like, I am locked in with myself. I am in Zen mode. Like, I am one of one. I am in like Super Saiyan mode. Like, just know that I was able to do something like that. You can't tell me shit. Sorry, babes. I was solo travel gallivanting in Beijing, China by myself. You cannot tell me shit anymore. Like, it really just boosts your confidence. Like, to see that you can kind of push your boundaries and stand your ground in somewhere that's like so different from yourself. Chef's kiss. Like, it really did it. I think that was such a pivotal thing I needed in my life, especially with like I have a bit of anxiety, and even though I'm kind of headstrong, there is that element of like second guessing, doubting myself. And I feel like that solo trip and the solo traveling has helped me alleviate that a lot. It's still hints there and there, but I'm just more sure of myself, and I'm just kind of like, I can do this. I can find a way. I can mitigate problems that can arise. I can just find a way to like make shit happen for me. And I feel like solo travel just helps solidify that a lot. I think that was like the last one on my list. I don't think I want to add anything else. And I guess I'll just go into what I look forward to with travel in general, both solo and just traveling, what I look forward to in the future. And I would say like one thing that I look forward to is just building more connections with people. That's what I was going to allude to earlier about like how to mitigate the safety thing, but like connecting with more people and meeting more people and building deeper connections with the people that I meet. I like love when I hear about people that like, they're like, oh, I have this friend that I met in Japan. Like, I have this friend from Japan. I have this friend from freaking Jordan, Belarus. Like, I love hearing stuff like that, and I would love to do something like that. And I feel like to just open myself up more. I'm a bit of a reserved person. Like, I may not seem like it on camera because I'm just like I've mentioned before, that I'm just like in my element, enjoying life, but I can be kind of reserved and close to myself, and like I'm very like mindful of how I open up to people. But I would like to be a bit more open, and I think what better way to like do that than to form deeper connections with people from all across the world. And that's something that I've always wanted like a big friend group of just people from all across the world, from different cultures, with different foods that I could try. So that's like something like I'm looking forward to with traveling in the future. I think the next would be, I think it goes with the first one as well, is that I would like to travel with like, maybe not all together, but like, you know how people have travel trips and they're next, they're like, oh, I'm going to another country with this person I met in this country. I would just love to be able to like find just, I don't have to be a big group. I would probably prefer not to be a big group, but to be able to travel with like one other person that's just like real locked in with me, like we're very compatible. I think that'd be really interesting, because like as much as I love solo travel, I think like it might be great to travel and share experiences. And I think going into like sharing those travel experiences is something I look forward to, is traveling with my family. I did not like, before traveling, I really thought like I had to get it all out of the way. Like, it was a sprint, not a marathon. I was like, I need to travel as much as possible, because like when I have kids, when I do have a family, how am I gonna do this? But I feel like when I was abroad, I forgot what country, it might have been Tokyo, but I saw like a woman and like her kids and her family, and that really inspired me. And I was like, wait, I don't have to fucking run this freaking fast 100-meter sprint and get it all done. If I can like figure out how to navigate my life and like be cautious and be intentional about my life, I can be doing that with my family as well in the future. And I would just love to like share those experiences with my kids. Recently I saw this TikTok of this lady, and like she shared her like throwback of when she had a trip with her son, like right after her divorce, and pretty much she was saying how like for her son it was like such a pivotal core moment. Even though he was so young, he remembers that memory a lot, and I would just love that for myself. So those are the things I look forward to. And I feel like that's about loud ass vehicle. Let's wait. Like 2 buses back to back. I'm low-key right by like Wrigley Stadium, if you know from Chicago, and I think there's a game going on, but it's a lot going on right here. But that's it for me. I don't know if like you guys might have any more questions. I feel like share your thoughts in the comments. Like, if you solo traveled, if you want to, just share your thoughts about it. Share with me. I love to read through comments and just see what you guys think, etc. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if this like chit chat format was okay for you all. But thank you for watching. I'm gonna post more. I've been like gearing a lot of content. Y'all will see. And thank you. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, I'm looking at you. Subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Bye.